Breaking news here on HQ. Zach Aldridge, Brandon Baylor back here with you this morning, and we are getting ready to learn who will end up making up the rest of Team USA for the Ryder Cup.
We are waiting to hear from the captain, Zach Johnson. Of course, we do know a few things, that it will be in Europe, in Rome next month at the end of the month. Also, the top 6 qualified already. The question is the remaining 6 when it comes to filling out that roster. So taking a look at what we already know. This is what we know so far of others that are contending for maybe the 6. Brooks Koepka, we know that situation with him being in Live, maybe knocking on the door. He does have some numbers and wins on the season. Others in the field as well. Colin Morikawa, Sam Burns, Ricky Fowler had maybe a resurgent season this year. You see those records. And then Justin Thomas, a lot of people on the fence because JT has not played well this season. But if this was 2021, 2020, it could be maybe an easy pick, but JT on the fence on that. Want to take a look at our Kyle Porter's projections on how that might shake out. As I mentioned, the top 6, we know those automatic bigs in Scheffler, Schauffele, Cantlay, Homa, and then also Clark and Brian Harman. Remember, Clark and Harman, rookies in this, their first Ryder Cup team. Others that may pan out in this, Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, I mentioned that, Colin Morikawa, Ricky Fowler, and Justin Thomas and Sam Burns getting in those final picks according to our Kyle Porter. I want to bring in Kyle Porter, of course, breaking this all down. And Kyle, just out of curiosity, we see how you have it broken down as far as the rest of the team getting in, but what do you really expect once we hear from Zach Johnson, those remaining picks?
Yeah, I mean, this is it's going to be really interesting. There's some different directions that Zach Johnson could go. I do expect those to be the 12 that we put up there. I expect those to be the 12 on the team going to Rome. Based on some reporting from The Guardian and from No Laying Up on Monday, I think the big question was in the 11th and 12th spot. I think the first 10 is pretty much universal. Those guys should be on the team. But the 11th and 12th spot, Sam Burns and Justin Thomas, there's a bunch of different names you could slot in there. You could throw Russell Henley at it. You could throw Keegan Bradley, who won the Travelers Championship. Lucas Glover's won 2 of his last 4 events. There's Tony Finau was really good in Paris. There's a number of different guys that you could put into those final 2. I think they're going Sam Burns and JT, and I think they should go Sam Burns and JT. Those would be my 2 picks if I was the captain of this U.S. team. I think those 2 guys give you the best chance to win in Rome here in about a month.
How do you maybe look at the situation with JT? You're predicting that he will make the team. I'm sure a lot of folks out there will be maybe surprised, maybe angry given the way that he's played this year. Will it be that much of a shock to see him if he makes it?
JT is a polarizing dude. I mean, not just online and on Twitter and on Instagram, but I think, you look at him as sort of the lightning rod at Whistling Straits in 2021. The U.S. team, he's got a little AJ Pierzynski in him, in that if he's on your team, you love him. If he's not on your team, you really, really, really don't like him. And that was true of the European team in 2021. You talk to officials, people on the European side, even players, it's like, man, JT is irritating. And I think that's sort of the point here, right? It's not, nobody's arguing that JT's playing good golf. He's been bad, objectively bad in 2023. The argument for JT to be on the team is that he is somebody that rallies the troops. He's somebody that gets under the skin of the other team, and you need that guy on your team, even if he's not necessarily playing great golf. You don't have to play him 5 matches. You can play him 2 matches. You can play him 3 if he gets hot. So I think there's a good case to be made for JT on the team, but it's certainly not the way or the caliber of golf that he's played so far in 2023.
He does have that experience, as you mentioned there, of course, when it comes to the Ryder Cup or the President's teams. He is 15-6-3. So as you mentioned, you don't have to play him 5 matches, but he does have that experience in that locker room. I want to look at the graphic again when we're talking about guys trying to make it here. Give me a name or 2 that sticks out, maybe a Keegan Bradley that can maybe shock a few guys there. Tony Finau, as you mentioned, a Lucas Glover, of course, and the guys right there that have highlighted have never played in a Ryder Cup. Give me a name or 2 that, you know what, some people might be surprised that they make Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think Lucas Glover really has a chance. I think Finau is somebody that I would love to be on the team. He was really good in Paris, played a really key role, even though the U.S. kind of got rolled there. But he hasn't really taken advantage of an opportunity over the last 2 months. He won the Mexico Open back in May, and then just kind of hasn't done anything since then. The other guy that I think is super interesting that's not on this list is Russell Henley. Russell Henley has been really, really good no matter what kind of time frame you look at. Now, the problem with Russell Henley is he doesn't win a ton. And so you might be saying, well, I haven't seen Russell Henley's name. Well, yeah, it's because he finishes T11 or T8 every single week. So he's interesting. He's a great iron player. Again, I don't really think he's going to be on the team because I think it's going to be Burns and JT. Cam Young is somebody that, we have highlighted here that was really good in the major championships in 2022. He's had kind of a down year, although people sort of expected him to be on this team, but ultimately I don't think he's going to be.
So that moment that we have been waiting for the arrival, here is the live announcement coming from Zach Johnson figuring out the team for USA.
States Ryder Cup team based on a point system. Today, U.S. Ryder Cup captain Zach Johnson will name 6 additional players who will join those automatic qualifiers to complete his 12-member team. So Zach, before we get to your picks, I know you are more than thrilled about those who have already locked up a spot.
That is accurate. Thank you, Julius. Very excited about our 6 earned berths qualifiers. Scotty Scheffler, I don't think I need to describe him. #1 player in the world. Mr. Consistency, 2 wins, including the Players' Championship this year. Wyndham Clark, 2 wins, U.S. Open being one of them. Lots of power, very energetic rookie. My boy, Brian Harmon, St. Simon's Island, my hometown now, won the Open. I might have won the Open 6 by 6 shots. He's a bulldog, and all pun intended there. Patrick Cantlay, again, another model of consistency. Played great at the end of the year. No one is surprised. Max Homa, 2 wins this year. Rookie Ryder Cupper, but played some high-level international golf. He's our prom king. Xander Schauffele, played amazing, especially as of late, but the whole year. And a great team player, loves the cups. Quality guys, great competitors, and probably better off the course than even on it.
The time has come, Zach, so if you're ready, can you please tell the world who will be joining these 6 qualifiers?
I guess got chills set. Yeah, yes, I can, Julius. A lot of time, a lot of energy has gone into this process. That's probably no secret. I am very confident in these 6, and my confidence comes from the mere fact that I am surrounding myself around great people, specifically my vice captains who have been absolutely amazing. Our analytics team, who they're the nerd herd, but we love them. They give us a lot of great information that we can chew on. And then from there, we came up with what we felt was 6 guys that made these other 6 whole. So without further ado, our 6 gentlemen that will be joining our qualifiers are Mr. Sam Burns, Mr. Ricky Fowler, Mr. Brooks Koepka, Mr. Colin Morikawa, Mr. Jordan Spieth, and Mr. Justin Thomas.
We just heard it right there from Zach Johnson.
To say I'm excited about these gents would be an understatement. They check all the boxes. Fierce competitors, great versatility, great flexibility when it comes to pairings, when it comes to the fit for Marco Simone. A great fit for each other, which is massive. And with that, I think comes a lot of just awesome options, successful pairings, and opportunity to do what we want to do, and that's to win. So got some great experience in there too, considering we are going across the pond, no easy feat. But I'm confident that these guys, along with the other 6. Now we're 12, 12 strong, if you will. We'll be ready to go in the end of September. So these are our gents.
Thanks, Zach, very much. What jumps off the page here is that you selected 5 Ryder Cup veterans and 1 rookie. That makes a total of 4 rookies on your team. While the U.S. has taken 2 of the last 3 Ryder Cups, Europe has won 9 of the last 13 matches and 6 straight overseas. We hear a lot about veterans versus rookies and horses for courses. Can you give us a peek behind the scenes on what your decision-making process might have been like?
Yeah, I can give you a peek. It's a small one, but yeah, I mean, number one, I think the beauty and the honor of being in this position at this stage is that I'm still on a tour with these guys. So number one, I mean, I'm able to rub shoulders with them. I don't take that lightly. Number two, my experience in the Cups in general has put me in this position and added certainly some confidence in what I'm trying to do. Not that I really had any ideas what I was getting myself into, but whether you're a player or a vice captain, you learn a lot. And you know, I've even written some things down, but you mentally write things down. That's kind of got me here and what I think would be best if given the opportunity to sit in this chair. So yeah, we've got some rookies. We always do, it seems. That's magnificent because you love seeing the rookies getting thrown into that sort of coliseum, if you will. It's pretty amazing to see them and how they go about their work. I think new blood can be a good thing. You know, experience is also a good thing too. I mean, it's one of those. It's really hard to measure. I mean, we have, but it's hard to really get down to the measuring part of that. But having new blood's refreshing. It's energizing. All of that. I've had many talks with our rookies already, and they're excited to say the least. So that excitement is very attractive. But when it came down to making these decisions, personalities, team room, camaraderie, and make no mistake, the golf course and the fit from Marco Simone was a big part of it as well.
Very good. Thanks, Zach. Let's break this down a little bit more and learn why you selected each player that you did. And let's begin with Sam Burns, who will be playing in his first Ryder Cup.
Sure. Yeah. Sam, stud athlete, number one. Won the World Golf Match Play Championships this year. Tremendous putter, which is always good in a Ryder Cup. To say that he meshes well with the other guys in the team, again, would be a massive understatement. And a versatile teammate. Guys want to be around him. Guys want to play with him. It's nice locking hands with somebody, locking shoulders with somebody that you want to be around. And Sam fits that to a T.
Very good. Thank you very much, Zach. Hi, Sam, and congratulations on making your first Ryder Cup team. Can you quickly say hello to make sure we can hear you okay?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You narrowly missed out on making the U.S. Ryder Cup team at Whistling Straits. How much of a goal was it this year for you to make this year's team, Zach's team?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say it was my number one goal. That it was something I wanted to be a part of and I didn't want to miss out on. So when Zach, gave me the call, just incredibly honored. I think for me personally, there's no higher honor than to represent your country, to be a part of this Ryder Cup, to tee it up alongside these world-class players and guys. I'm extremely, extremely excited.
Sam, the 2023 Junior Ryder Cup will be played September 26 to 28. Right before you tee it up at Marco Simone, you played on the victorious 2014 Junior Ryder Cup team in Scotland. Now you've sort of come full circle with this. Did 18-year-old Sam Burns ever dream this big?
I mean, I definitely dreamed it many, many times. I think, as a kid, you watch every Ryder Cup and you always, have this idea in the back of your head that you want to be a part of that and you want to get to experience that one day. And so it's very, very surreal when, that opportunity presents itself. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to tee it up alongside these guys and hopefully bring the cup home.
Thank you, Sam. Please don't go anywhere. Zach, next up, Ricky Fowler, who had that emotional victory at the Rocket Mortgage in June.
Well said. Yes. No one was surprised by that victory. My boy Rick, great 2023. Obviously, that win, a really good U.S. Open out in L.A. Pretty much a model of consistency this year through and through. Stats show that. Also extremely flexible as far as, pairings and I would say formats. He can move around there a little bit, and those that know him or at least been around him, he makes every team room better. So that's Rick.
Thanks, Zach. Ricky, congratulations on making your 5th Ryder Cup team. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I got you. Thank you. Very
good. Thank you, by the way, for strategically placing that Ryder Cup trophy behind you in the shot. That's So this means, Ricky, you are one of the most experienced Ryder Cuppers on this team, including 3 away matches, which will make you a leader in this team room. What's your take on how this team will gel over in Italy?
It's already coming together. A lot of us are really close. A few of us live close to each other in South Florida. And it's just a great, excited that I've played well enough to give myself this opportunity. I was thinking about it a little bit, and it, in a way, reminded me a little bit of my second Walker Cup. I went from being a rookie at my first, and then my second in 2009. Myself and Brian Harmon were kind of the guys that had played and the older guys on the team. So a little different and odd situation to be one of the older guys, but hey, we'll take it any way we can get it.
After not being part of the team at Whistling Straits 2 years ago, can you put into words why this week is so important for you, maybe so special for you?
Well, after the last few years, for me, not being a part of teams, not really being in majors and not playing well, going through a little bit of a rebuilding last fall, to ultimately this was the goal at the top. I knew it was going to be a tough one to achieve. It's just, this one's super special. When I got the call from Zach, and luckily he told me the news, I was definitely emotional because it's been a great year after the last few, like I talked about, and I knew it was going to be very hard to be in this position. So to get that call and to be a part of this team is amazing.
Ricky, thank you very much. Stick with us for a couple more minutes, please. Captain, you also selected Brooks Koepka, who won the PGA Championship at Oak Hill in Rochester this year.
Yes, what a performance at Oak Hill. Oak Hill in May, let alone. 5-time major champion, 3-time PGA champion. He's built, in my mind, for the biggest of stages, and there's no bigger stage than the Ryder Cup. I think his record shows that. I know his buddies want him on the team. He's very versatile. Guys want to play with him. That's evident. And I'm excited to have him go to Marco Simone on what will be the biggest stage in golf.
Thank you very much, Zach. Brooks, congratulations and welcome to your 4th Ryder Cup team. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can hear you guys. Thanks.
Very good. Now, Zach mentioned a while ago that you have not lost a singles match in Ryder Cup competition. Why have you played so well on Sunday singles?
Oh, I don't know. I think you're just playing for something bigger than yourself, right? You don't want to let the other guys on the team down. And it's a fun event. I mean, I think the fun, most nervous I've ever been in a golf tournament was teeing it up the Ryder Cup. So I've enjoyed it, and every time I've played, I've just tried to go get a point for the team.
Brooks, how proud or surprised are you to be sitting here today as the 2023 PGA champion and a Ryder Cup team member after what you had to overcome, injuries, for example, over the last 2 years?
Yeah, last few years have been a lot, but at the same time, that's what I've been grinding for. That's what I've been trying to get back into shape and 100% feel good just for this moment and get out and go play with the team. So super excited, looking forward to it, and we got a great group of guys, great captain, great assistants. It's going to be a fun week.
Thanks, Brooks. Zach, next is Colin Morikawa, who had a very strong debut as a rookie at Whistling Straits in 2021, going 3-0-1.
Yes, a Ryder Cup rookie at Whistling Straits with 2 majors already under his belt. Not normal. Great young talent, great guy on and off the golf course, ball striking machine. Consistent would be the word that comes to my mind year after year. And he is a very strong fit for Marco Simone and what we feel the course will demand.
Thank you very much, Zach. Colin, welcome to your second United States Ryder Cup team. With that smile on your face, I'm guessing you can hear us okay?
I can hear you. Thank you.
Very good. You clinched the winning half point in singles and had 3 wins in 4 matches at Whistling Straits. So I'm guessing your memories from your very first Ryder Cup are pretty positive. Can you tell us what some of your takeaways were from Wisconsin?
Yeah, I've got to thank Brooks for not making a hole-in-one on 17. I think he would have clinched it right before me. But you know what? A lot of positive memories. I think going back, being with the team, spending as much time, like Brooks said, there's nothing like it. When you're playing for someone else or something else and you're playing for your country, you got the red, white, and blue on. It really pulls something out of you to just really be able to do anything and clinch, every point possible to get the win for sure.
That win, of course, was on home soil. Any anxiety about going to an away match? Anything you've heard that might leave you a little uncomfortable?
No, you know what? I think we're all excited. Knowing the history, knowing the past. These are obviously 12 guys. We've got our captains, our vice captains, and we all want to win. We know the history. That's all the past. We want to create new memories. We want to create new history for us and the U.S. side, and I think we've got to do that. I'm excited. Everyone else is, and to be honest, it's another match out there. It's another golf tournament, and we're going to do our best for sure to.
Thank you, Colin. Please don't go anywhere. Next, Zach, you selected Jordan Spieth, who, like Ricky, will make his 5th Ryder Cup team.
Jordan Spieth. Thanks for being here. Great putter, great short game. Seems he's never out of the hole. I've been on the bad end of that myself. Great match play player. Very consistent year, and we've seen that in the last so many odd years. Just seems to bring his best out in the hardest of situations. All the intangibles you want as a teammate and as a player. A lot of heart, a lot of spirit, a lot of experience as a result too, as you mentioned, Julius. And one of our, I would say one of our stalwarts on Team USA.
Thank you very much, Zach. And congratulations, Jordan, and welcome to your 5th consecutive Ryder Cup team, the longest stretch among anyone on your team. You have a solid 71% win rate in Ryder Cup 4-ball play. What is it about that format that brings out the best in you and the best in your teammates?
Great teammates in 4-ball. I've had to lean on them a few times over the years, but just some freedom. I like to play aggressively, and typically when you have a partner beside you, you get that opportunity more often. You can not only just hit shots more aggressively, hit putts more aggressively. You always know someone's going to get it in the hole, and when it's going out there trying to make as many birdies as possible, it's just more fun. Just have more fun playing that format. I'm not sure, why win percentage is that high necessarily, but I'd love more opportunities. It's my favorite format for sure.
Jordan, Zach has surrounded himself with 5 vice captains whom you know very well, having played for 4 of them as your captain on international team events. From your perspective as a veteran Ryder Cupper, how do you think Team USA has benefited from this leadership?
Well, as you mentioned, it's been similar guys in the room, whether leading or being vice captains, and it's nice to see familiar faces. You start to adapt year after year. You know, these captains rely on each other for the experiences they had, what they could possibly do better, where even in wins and losses, where it went well, where there was room for improvement. And I think the players' input has been something that's been massive over the last, we call it 3 or 4 years now. And it's certainly led to success in team events and really just off the course, just a different balance in the team room. So it's a great group of vice captains. I don't think anybody here is surprised by who Zach picked. And the addition of Stewart, I think, was a really, really cool addition that we're really excited about as well, given, he's been competing against us, in the last few years, and he won twice a couple seasons ago. So very, relatable to everything that's going on tour.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Zach, you also selected 2-time PGA champion Justin Thomas.
Yes, Justin Thomas, one of the most talented players on the PGA Tour, in my opinion. He has, without question, been the heart and soul of Team USA, Ryder Cups, our emotional leader, I would say, and I don't think he would argue with that. He just leads by example. Overall, a fantastic Ryder Cup record. His passion for the Ryder Cup is very evident. He would say it himself. He has said it himself. In my mind, he was born for this, and there is you just don't leave JT at home.
Thank you very much, Zach. Justin, congratulations on making your 3rd United States Ryder Cup team. In your rookie year in Paris, you contributed the most points to the team with 4 wins and 1 loss. What would you tell a rookie teammate on what to expect or how to prepare for an away Ryder Cup?
First off, thank you. I'm very, very happy to be here. But it's exciting. It's a type of nerves that I don't think you can really put into words, and us that have experienced it, especially over there, can understand. It's butterflies, but it's good butterflies. It's all the nerves that we are playing for. It's why we play professional golf, is to be in these kind of atmospheres. And it doesn't matter how many cups we've played in, whether it's our first one or our 5th one or our 3rd one, and we're all going to be nervous, but it's a great opportunity. And I think all of us are very excited, and I know the rookies are as well.
Justin, you're 6-2-1 in the last 2 Ryder Cups, throwing a President's Cup, and you're 16-5-3 in your career. What is it about team golf specifically that brings out the best in you?
Well, I think Jordan touched on a little bit. Good partners definitely help with that. And a lot of it, as much as you want to bring good golf yourself to the table, I think a part of it is bringing the best out of your partner. And I've been very fortunate to play with some friends of mine that I feel like I know well, that I'm not only comfortable around, but I feel like I can do my best to try to bring the best out of them. With a couple of them on this call with me, and Jordan and Rick. And I don't know. It's a very, very exciting, and it's hard to really think about anything other than exactly what you're doing. You don't really get out, it's hard to get ahead of yourself or think about anything behind you, because it's not a stroke play event where you're looking at leaderboards or thinking about holes you're going to birdie. The only thing you're worried about is just beating the person or team that you're playing against. And, that's a challenge that I've enjoyed.
Thank you very much, JT. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead.
So taking a look at Team USA heading to the Ryder Cup next month in Rome. It's all set. You see the first 6 automatic qualifiers there. We know those. But today, Zach Johnson announcing his captain's pick, starting there with Jordan Spieth, who's making his 5th appearance. Brooks Koepka, a lot of people thought maybe not because he's in LIV, but he does have that PGA Championship under his belt. Colin Morikawa making his 2nd appearance, a 2-time major champion winner there. Sam Burns He is now the 4th rookie added to this roster heading to Rome. And Justin Thomas, Zach Johnson also said, you don't leave experience like that at home. He is 6-2-1 when it comes to those Ryder Cup teams in the past. I want to bring Kyle Porter in here. We just saw that breakdown there where you talk about the announcement there. Kind of chalk. We expected those 6 to be in the field when it comes to the 12-man roster heading to Rome. Your initial reaction to what you heard from Zach and others there?
Yeah, like you said, it's not a huge surprise. I think they took the guys that they felt like were the best team, not necessarily the 12 guys that have been playing the best golf. And that's a switch from years past, right? I think in years past, they just went straight talent, rolled the talent out there and said, hey, go beat the Europeans. You're more talented than them. You're better than them. You should beat them. And they didn't do that this year. Russell Henley's playing better golf than Sam Burns and Justin Thomas. Lucas Glover's playing better golf than Justin Thomas. There's a lot of guys playing better golf than Justin Thomas, but what they did was they took a team that was put together for the most part at Whistling Straits that destroyed the Europeans, that they felt like could create some continuity into the future. You heard Zach Johnson talk about just sort of like that team bond and team unity that they have, and they feel like that gives them the best chance to win. And I think it feels like, oh, they just always take the big names and the guys that have had past success. But the reality is, I think this is a more carefully constructed team than perhaps in years past for the U.S. Ryder Cup.
When you look at all of the selections that Jack Johnson made, just 2 wins of all of those captain selections on the PGA Tour this season. So kind of you alluded to picking a team that can maybe be more cohesive. As constructed right now, how do you feel about this team being able to go over to Rome?
Well, I think it's interesting, and one of those wins was from Brooks Koepka, who doesn't even play on the PGA Tour, which is pretty hilarious, right? He won the PGA Championship back in May. I think the interesting part, Zach, is match play is so different than stroke play. So we look at Collin Morikawa and Jordan Spieth, who have not won in 2023, but have played very good golf. You shift it to match play and becomes such a different thing. These are guys that the European team, the players on the European team as constructed right now, they don't want to face a JT in Rome. Like they would rather face probably a Lucas Glover or somebody that, maybe didn't make this squad. So I think this is the team that gives them the best chance to win. Does that mean they're going to win? Not necessarily, but I think this is the team that gives them the best chance. And Zach, I think the one thing I would say about this Ryder Cup, we haven't gotten a Ryder Cup that's been close since probably, I guess, 2012 is the last time it was really kind of close late on a Sunday. The rest of them had kind of been either complete blowouts or low-key blowouts where it wasn't as close as it looked. I think this is going to be the closest Ryder Cup that we have or that we have had since 2012 based on this U.S. team and what they're going up against in the Europeans.
We know what they're going up against. You're talking about Victor Hovland, who, by the way, just won on Sunday. You talk about Jon Rahm. He's been, one or two, right behind Scheffler pretty much the whole season. And then also you talk about Rory McIlroy. He's been in contention pretty much every Sunday the whole season. How do they kind of stack up against this big three of the European team based on what we know now for this 12?
Well, I think the Europeans are certainly overall at the top playing better than the Americans. You mentioned those guys. You throw in, several of the other guys that are up there. Tommy Fleetwood's been playing well. Matt Fitzpatrick nearly won the BMW Championship. So if you look top 4, 5, 6, the Europeans are playing as good or better than the Americans, and maybe more importantly, they're trending better, right? Their trajectory is better than the top of the American side. But I think where the U.S. wins out is at the bottom. There's still a lot up in the air with the European team on the bottom 2, 3, 4 picks. Who are those guys going to be? I don't think they really have any idea who's going to be the last few picks on that European team, and it's something that the U.S. can take advantage of, because when you have a, Brooks Koepka or a Collin Morikawa or a Sam Burns as one of your last few picks, like that's pretty strong. And I know we've been saying that for forever. The U.S. is more solid at the bottom, and they have to figure out the sort of combination of guys in Europe. They've done it in the United States. They've kind of rolled the last few Ryder Cups in the United States. They haven't figured out that formula in Europe, and they'll have to do it with those guys at the bottom to really take advantage of kind of the weakness on the European team.
Yeah, certainly going to be very fun to monitor as we get closer to getting ready to head out to Rome. I know that you'll be there, KP. We'll be holding it down here in Fort Lauderdale. But we thank you for your time as we start to unpack the Team USA being unveiled for the Ryder Cup. We know that Spieth, Burns, Koepka, Morikawa, Thomas, and Fowler will be heading over across the pond to play in Rome.